Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we have a top 16 breakdown for the Play TCG Webcam Ultimate Cup that happened this past weekend. It was 288 players with 8 rounds of Swiss and best of 3 into this top 16 that we see here today. So nothing too new for this format, to be honest. It is still the BT13 Ultimate Cup. Same restrictions as we've been seeing, and we're about halfway through the month. I think we have like 1 or 2 more left here in North America, and then we go back into October where it is the standard BT13 format too. But into this top 16, we do see 5 red hybrids, 3 Mirage, 3 Ulforce, 1 Greymon deck, which ended up winning it, 1 D Reaper, a Beelzemon, a Belphemon, and a Bloomlord as well. So let's just jump on into each one of these archetypes by top placing lists for each one. Starting off with our first place list here. So this is Alex's list for Black or Gray, but it's still like that fancy pantsy Dorbic Ragna version that we see more in Ultimate Cup format than really anything else. So real quick, kind of how this works is that in the actual just like Greymon, Agumon kind of line in general, you do just get so much of like the sources and pieces that you would need for Dorbickmon. So kind of the way that you can do this is that you can have a full stack with like a Black or Greymon or a Black or Gray X, use it to make one line, and then you can use the Flame Dramon underneath one of them. Either you go up the line with Black or Gray X, or one of the pieces for Dorbickmon, since it counts as one of the pieces, and then you can go into the Ragnalordmon at the end of turn. It has Blitz, but also when DNA Digivolving, for every 4 cards in the sources, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 20 or less, and trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So having the regular Black or Gray X line, and then the entire Dorbick line, you'll have usually it's not too difficult to get 12 different for this, so you can mill 3 off of their security, and then you're able to go and blitz for game. So that's kind of the idea. You're also just kind of a control deck. Black or Gray X is a good card in a lot of ways too, and it's really interesting. I've seen this work before. It doesn't see as much play in like the regular like regional formats, because I think it's like a little bit too slow at times, but in a format like this, it does very well, and really congratulations to Alec for their first place finish there. Next up, we do have Hien with their Mirage, and Mirage is definitely like one of the better decks, at least that's been seeing representation in the Ultimate Cup format, especially compared to how it is in the regional format. It is a combo deck, and sometimes you are a little bit too slow on finding those combo pieces, but generally in the Ultimate Cup, you are in a bit of a better spot. So kind of some decision points for this one. Usually everyone's playing at least 4 of these Mirage Galgamon from BT11, 1 or 2 copies of BT13, and then either 2 or 3 copies of the burst mode. Tamers, it's generally looking like people are running less in this format too. So only 6 Thomases between the BT4 one and the BT13 one. A couple Full Moon Meteor Impacts, an Ice Wall, 4 Blue Mem Boost, and 2 additional Hammer Sparks for increasing that curve. So not much more from there. We have enough of the Mirage pieces that we can pretty much have our entire line only having Galgamons and Galmons and Mock Galgamons. So not too different from there, just kind of the ratios you want of just the good ones. So like the BT13 one, honestly, like the BT13 line is generally pretty good for a lot of these, but in the EX4 ones. So anyways, this list here for Hien, congratulations for their finish there. And then next up we have Martin Lee, who got 4th place with Ulforce, and again, kind of like I feel like Mirage and Ulforce are kind of like 2 sides, are like very similar in kind of like deck building and also strategy. They're both kind of like these blue aggro stack decks that kind of also depend on having their tamers. Obviously Martin's list is more, or just in general, Ulforce is more generally just more tamers. You want to play as many as you want, including like the Arena, which still has been just a really staple card for this. It's just does everything. It's just kind of an extension of your Ulforce Feedramon in the fact of just all the effects it does. So and just kind of like the restand and everything. You do have to be worried about what's it called, Corsemon, which doesn't exist as much, I feel like, in this format compared to traditional BT13 with Hunters in play. But with Hunters away, Bloomlord sometimes plays Quartz, but again, I don't think Bloomlord has been as popular in this specific format with kind of the restrictions to it as well. But also, Martin's decided to run the Leomon package, so we have the Jerry, which lets you play a Leomon off, out of your hand, which is great. This being able to, be a blocker, but also being able to potentially gain memory on your opponent's turn to switch it back to your turn usually kind of helps you out in that case too. So, and you can play your Tamers for free off your effects. So that means you play Jerry for free, which means you play Leomon for free. And I think that's in a good spot. So We've been seeing this list for a bit. I know Martin's a really, really strong player for just Vmon decks in general, and congratulations to their 4th place finish there. Next up, we have Luca with their 5th place D Reaper, and D Reaper's been on a little bit more of a rise this month with this Ultimate Cup format. It has shown up like a little bit in like previous Ultimate Cup formats too, since it is generically just a multicolor deck. Or not a multi, it's a single color deck in white, with kind of just how the deck works and how unique it is in that way. And it just kind of I'll still just say like Gatekeeper is a really good card in the sense that some decks just really don't have an out to it. And because of that, it can just kind of save you. It can buy you some additional turns, and then you just go off with your Reaper, and you're able to go off with it. So, and also just one of the few decks in this format that it can actually run X Antibody, which is kind of funny. And that's really all I have for it. So 21 also searches, which is I think the most I've really seen for any of these builds, but makes sense, especially since we have more room. And we can't like tack it out with more I see some people put like yellow stuff into it sometimes and everything, but obviously you can't do it in this build. So anyways, this is Luca's list. Congratulations for their finish there. Next up, we have Matthew with their 6th place Red Hybrid. And Red Hybrid's been a little bit more popular, I think, in the weeks as we've had this Ultimate Cup in general. It's always been a pick to pick for these Ultimate Cups, and the fact that they are traditionally mono red. You do miss on a couple of supports like Digimon and Belphemon, and also like an Omni, a Blitz Omni to kind of finish your games. But being able to just go up your lines, and this one's pretty standard or pretty linear in the fact that it's only Emperor Greymon from BT12, no additional 6 drops. It's only this level 6 for you, and then just support in 4 whole copies of Atomic Inferno, 3 Gravity Rush, and then 2 Gravity Crush, and then 2 Crimson Blaze. So pretty, I'd say just put the cards in the deck for this one, just 4s of everything. 1 copy of Solarmon for the tech for that, but very, I'd say, standard list, but very effective as well. And congratulations to Matthew for their finish there. 3 whole deck list left for us today. So we got Benjamin Moore with their 8th place Beelzemon. And I don't really have much to say about this either. We've been seeing Beelzemon for pretty much the last 6 months in this game. It's been strong since pretty much release of the ultimate deck for it. Being able to have specific lines for it, and just also being really accessible means that it's going to be very present for it. The nice pick, I guess, we got Beelzemon, which is a wizard. It's also champion. It has jamming, which is an interesting choice for it. You can't just hard play it for 4, which maybe there are just certain areas where they're just not seeing the rookies or something else, or it is a wizard, so it is, I believe, searchable off of it's searchable off Imako. So interesting choice for that one, but I don't really have much more to say about this one either. So obviously we do have Deathslinger at 1 in this one, and also the EX2 Itmon, so there is like a little bit of nerf for Beelzemon in this format, but still able to represent, and congratulations to Benjamin for their finish there. And then next up we have Sergiy with Belphemon, and Belphemon has been doing a really weird. It's been showing up, but like not super consistently, but sometimes it wins the turn. Like it's a really interesting deck, and I honestly would feel like I'd expect it to do better in this format specifically, because it is a combo deck that is generally fast enough in the regular format to survive, and this is kind of a format where I'd expect it to do a little bit better. So it's kind of like there's a lot of combo pieces for what you do, but the sleep mode, and then also just the rage mode in general, being able to like swing twice, like this can do 4 checks at 17k all by itself. The fact that you're able to have like Ostamon underneath it on like half interaction on your opponent's turn, where just the fact that we have a deck that has choices on our opponent's turn compared to a lot of the other decks in this game makes it a little bit different, just because you can negate an attack. You get to play a Digimon as a level 4, which is why we have like Ogremon, Devimon, and Dobermon here to interact with their opponent's stuff. We can also just play Psychemon or Gausimon as well, if we depending on the build. And the one tech choice that we do see, the Shine Greymon Ruin mode. Sergiy plays a lot of Belphemon. I don't think I've seen this in their build before, but being able to have an additional stall, I think, is very strong too. So this is the list here. Congratulations to Sergiy for their finish. And to wrap it up, we have Charles, 12th place, Bloomlord. And Bloomlord, I would say, in Ultimate Cups before this format have been very dominant. You did get a couple restrictions in this newest Ultimate Cup. We already had Hydramon at 1 as it was, but also Hidden Potential Discovered is just banned straight up, which I super agree with. So you do miss out some of that, but I also do think it's a deck that does do well, and as long as you're able to get your setup right. That's generally the hardest part with green in this card game, is that you do have to find your lines and get there, but you do have some additional resources and ways to do that. So we do have like the new line. We do have like the one of Yoshino, which is able to just be kind of like a parallel to Mimi in a lot of ways. We're not playing like the Rosemon or like the burst mode either, so which is, I think, pretty viable in this format as well. But we're just running Bloomlord, running an extra copy of Rosemon because it is a fairy, so it is searchable off our Lalamons and our Palmons. One Hydramon because we can't run more, and then 2 copies of Quartz, which honestly I see most people run like 3 or 4 copies of this. 2 is like the minimum copy like amount that I've been seeing, but again, you're able to top with it, so it was the correct amount for this day as well. So I think that's really it for this one and this event too. Nothing too fancy, I'd say, from this event. It's pretty understood what this Ultimate Cup format, and I think BT13 looks like right now, but we do again have one more at least, I think, at the end of the month for this Ultimate Cup format here in North America. I believe we have more events around the world, as well as we do have the BT13 regionals starting next month with the reprint booster coming out with a couple new cards and just everything else. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.